Hello Matt, it is Thursday the 8th of January. So, as you know, your Saturday vlogs are Super Saturday vlogs. My Thursday vlogs are always movie review vlogs, except the first one, which, yeah, I think you can see why I didn't count. So just to distinguish my normal vlogs from my movie reviews, I've changed the background. Actually no, it's not really movie related behind there. It's just, you can't really see a lot of movie related stuff in there. I think that makes it better. Now, the reason I do movie reviews is because I'm passionate about movies. Like, I've made a lot. Well, not a lot, but I made quite a few movies, short films, and I watch a few movies at a time, so, yeah, I know about it. So, now we saw that out of the way, I'm going to say what movie I'm reviewing. Now, the movie I'm reviewing is Citizen Kane. So, Citizen Kane is a 1941 movie by RKO Films and Orson Welles. I always think Orson Welles sounds like Awesome Welles. Am I the only one who thinks that? And it's about a newspaper editor who ends up running for government, but then ends up making his downfall until he dies, where it says Rosebud. And that's when the movie begins, with it say Rosebud, and then all the journalists are trying to find out what it means. I think you've heard at least one person in your time say Citizen Kane is the best movie ever made. Does it deserve that title? Let's take a look at it a bit more in depth. So, look at the characters. The characters are very well developed, I've got to admit that. The Kane is a very good character, very well developed over time. You see how he grows, see how he falls. And you feel for him when things go bad for him. You feel good for him, things go good for him, but you do realise when he goes a bit too far, like, nah, man, you're not that good. Really, other than Kane, the characters aren't too memorable. Like, I watched the movie just last week, so yeah, that's the first I ever watched it. So I don't really remember any of the other characters' names. It'd probably been better if the first video I've ever reviewed is one that I'd actually known, like watched a lot. I can't really, now the characters aren't really that memorable beyond Kane. I mean, they're very well acted, but I just can't really remember any of the lines they said. Except for one character, and that's the coach to one of his wives, the singer. He has a lot of energy in him. I can't remember his name, but he's probably the only character in the whole movie, apart from Kane, that I remember pretty much what their lines were. So, mention it beyond the characters, which are pretty good, but not that memorable. He then gets to the visual effects. Visual effects for Kane, while kind of primitive by today's standards, are very well done. Like, you know how Wizard of Oz has just matte paintings. This is done like 4 years ago, Wizard of Oz. It had matte paintings everywhere. It looked so fake. I mean, like, you know, like, every background was just like 10 feet away from the actors, and you're worried they would walk into it because it looked so fake. Well, the matte paintings of Citizen Kane are very well done, and they are probably, for black and white movies, they are about as good as, like, they ever got around that time. And they also use universal focus, which is something I thought about using, but I never did in my movies. So, universal focus, basically, like, they have every character in frame so you can look at them, what they're doing. And it was unique at first when they used it, but it got a bit too repetitive as the movie went on. They did it about 6 times, and it does help to not get distracted, but it doesn't really help when they do it 6 times. But he's probably thinking he likes the movie, but he doesn't think it's one of the best. Well, I can tell you this, the story is very well done. It's pretty much a Star Wars prequel trilogy kind of story, but done so much better. Like, the characters fall from grace, like they rose to the top of their level and then they went down. The story is done remarkably well, and I've got to admit, I don't really usually like stories like this, but they did it so well, I got to give that to them. It probably has one of the best stories of any movie ever seen. But on top of that, there's really not too much I can really say the movie has bad. It's just really, the characters aren't really that memorable, and the effects did get a bit repetitive, but what can you expect from 1940s time? They were really impressed with it. Have any other negatives? I actually don't know any. I wouldn't recommend Citizen Kane if you're just looking for a regular movie to watch, because you need to be in the mindset. It's not like a movie you could just watch and let your mind just go away and just enjoy how epic it is. No, you do need to have it in the mindset. You need to be in the mood for a complicated story. Well, not complicated. You need to be in the mood for complicated characters and stuff. You need to know what's going to happen. And also the twist at the end was a little bit cheap. It could have been a great twist, but they ended up... It was cute, but it wasn't that unique. I don't think the twist is very good. That's the only real criticisms I have. So, just on top of that, that was something. What Rosebud was. I wouldn't really say if you didn't make movies, I probably wouldn't recommend it, unless you're in the mindset. But if you are a movie maker, I would definitely recommend Citizen Kane. I'd give it all in all a 9 out of 10. Overall, I would say this one sentence about the movie. It's good if you're in a mindset. So, either way, next movie review, I don't know what it'll be on. I'm thinking I should do it kind of themed. I don't know, themed? I know what movies are going to be done on the early December-ish. I think you know as well. Another thing is any new release I might do the review for. And if movies can be linked together, like for instance Terminators 1, 2 and 3, not 4 because who remembers that, like Toy Story series or the Hobbit movies or Lord of the Rings movies, I might do them all together. So I hope you like my review of Citizen Kane. So Matt, I will see you tomorrow, but I will see you on Saturday, if you get what I mean there. But then again, I'll actually see you in real life tomorrow.